I want to talk to people with borderline personality disorder right now. I want to say sorry. I want to say sorry on behalf of every other content creator and people out there that has really helped stigmatize and demonize people that have ultimately been lifelong sufferers of emotional and other forms of abuse. The way that you experience your life is really one of pain, a kind of pain that other people don't get to see. As you live your life trying to be perfect for everyone else, as you live your life trying to produce and experience the kind of love that would just make this all go away. I know that you live your life trying to perfect yourself and fix yourself, and you get drawn into relationships that seem like the answer, where you feel it all the way down to your bones, that you have finally found love in your life. And you attach and you hold on with all of your might and do everything in your power to hold it together, forced to protect yourself with really strong reactions that were imbued upon you from the same type of abuse in childhood. And then you get to come online with all the sacrifice and all the suffering and listen to people interchange BPD and narcissists, talk about, well, they're both toxic and they're both this and they're both that. And what I want to tell you, some of the best friends that I've met, closer than anybody in my life, have BPD. They've been listening to my videos. They've been saying it's been making a difference for them. It's compelled me to really put my mind to work and try to understand how my personal experiences are nearly identical to that with anybody with borderline personality disorder. That people going around as people pleasers absolutely have the same structure in terms of their identity and the way that they engage reality. As a people pleaser, I've lived my life saying things like, I see the good in people, which means I idealize them. I analyze, to try to understand and protect myself, and it makes me numb, makes me unaware of the emotional abuse that I'm being afflicted upon. That I didn't see it. That as smart as I thought I was, I get to sit here and make a fool out of myself by talking about my own personal struggles to make a difference for people like you and other people like me. And I don't like the fact that they demonize you, because I know exactly what it's like to grow up around narcissists. I know that it creates a life of confusion, illusion, hope, catastrophic despair, in these vicious circles of pattern that just leave you grasping for reality, clinging to people that you believe love you because you felt it, you know it's there, you see it in them, and then you realize, no, they're completely evil. And then you're left feeling empty and confused to ruminate and think about, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe he's not as bad. I saw the good in him. I saw the good in her. I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to try to improve myself. I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and I'm going to give it a shot because I really just want to be loved. I need it. It makes me feel complete. I lose myself. And then as you get ravaged and devastated, and the fact is that your form of abuse that everybody wants to point at is merely a reaction to a lifelong pattern of being destroyed over and over and over. And so I get messages from people with this disorder, thanking me because all they hear about online is just how evil and wicked and manipulative and controlling and all that. And I don't believe that there's any reason to expect permanence around this condition. I've seen people make tremendous progress. And to say that some of the closest friends that I have now, they're not even in my life, they're here on TikTok. They're in my little support group of people that moderate for me. And I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the progress they're making. I'm proud of their courage. I'm proud of them for considering another possibility for their life in a world that tells them that they're permanently afflicted. When you can hear, doctors and other experts imbue you with a hopeless despair that you're just too traumatized. I don't believe that at all. I've looked so carefully at these disorders, and while there seems to be similarities that an average-minded person would think are similar, like splitting versus narcissistic rage or narcissistic abuse, like, you know what I'm talking about, when they have an injury. So a narcissistic injury may look like splitting, but completely different. Here's the difference. Looking at the link between people-pleasing idealization, seeing the good in people, and thinking that we can help change people is very much exactly the same structure of borderline. And when I've spoken to many of the people that have this disorder, these are loving, empathetic people. These are not manipulative, exploitative people. These are not people that set out to ruin lives. I have never been sabotaged by somebody with borderline, not once. The ones that I've met tried to love me, and they become afraid because they need the love to look perfect, to feel safe, that they had to idealize their parents to perfection and become daddy's little girl when daddy was a sociopath or a malignant narcissist. That the only way to protect themselves is to create an alternate reality where the people around them were made to be good. So they would have a shot of people pleasing them. They would have a shot by trying to be daddy's perfect little girl, to get loved. And to think that these people now get to go through life feeling empty and broken, and then come online and have people talk about them in the way that they do. It's a fucking disgrace. And I'm sorry that people haven't had the answers. But here's my answer. That this isn't your fault. That you're not broken. I won't entertain that. Not for a minute. Because I know what it's like. I know exactly what it's like. Not to the same degree, but I've been shattered and broken and used my entire life, and it took me 44 years to figure it out. And that's why I come and share with people like you, because I know you're the lovers, the fighters, the dreamers, the people that will keep caring about people despite a world that is so cruel, that it'll literally cost you your own identity just to exist with others. You have to be somebody else, somebody that the world tells you you have to be. And nobody gives a shit. And I know what that feels like. And that's not okay. And so, in looking at the structure of the disorder, it looks like a people-pleasing person that just had to take the idealization all the way to the max and protect themselves with splitting and analyzing. And in doing that, they didn't get to express the emotions that would accumulate from the devaluation. And so your core may have a ton of rage and pain in it. But because it happened at a later age, it can be mitigated. You can process those emotions. You can free your mind. You can free your heart. You can free yourself. You can find the kind of love that endures. And you can find yourself in such a way that you don't have to tolerate another devaluation. You don't have to live that way. Never. And that's why I talk to people. That's why I wanted to coach. I don't give a fuck about my business. I care about people. That this isn't me. That all the things I tried to do to show the world that I can make it, that I was good enough, only broke me. And nobody gave a shit anyway. Because they just wanted to invalidate. They just wanted to see me fail. They wanted to come into my life and fuck it up. Because they're wicked and dark people. And that's not you. That's not you. You became the way you are to survive in that world. You split and have so much anger because that's how you have to fight a fucking demon. That's the only way to get a psychopath to stop. You have to trigger him into shame. And so don't feel bad for a minute. And what I want to say is it's just time to let go. It's just time to let go of these broken people, these wicked people, these evil people that keep trying to betray you and trick you and use you and make you nothing because they're nothing. The only way they can exist with someone as amazing as you is to make you think you're nothing. So you'll accept nothing from them. That's not good. It's unacceptable. And I'm here for all of you. And that's the bottom line. And I don't care what anybody has to say about you.